What's going on, everybody? So this is your recap class, okay? So I'm gonna do a second part of this, which will probably be at 8:30. Okay. Sometimes we can't get conversation on this side. Okay. So then I'll switch over. So what I can't do is, you know how I put the books up and you guys can see the books from my screen. And this one we can't do that. Okay, so I got to do that in OBS. All right. So remember, I told you all to get those links. If you cannot get the books right now, you can go to thrift.com or you can go to Elsevier. Okay, so at 8:30 we're going to go over there. I'm just pretty much hanging out right now. So y'all come in with some kind of questions or something like that. If you guys want to look at the schedule, you can go to the website and look at the schedule. Um, it hasn't changed. I mean, the schedule on the face schedule should be the same schedule as this. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to switch out and then you guys will be able to see it. But you guys can go to the website and go look at that schedule. Um, it's pretty much the same thing. Today, you guys should still be on musculoskeletal system, and you should be reviewing that in your CPT book because we've already done the step by step book. So we're going to be on this one for about 30 minutes. Then we're going to move over to live. Well, this is live, but y'all know what I mean, the live books. Okay. Um, I'm just trying to pull this up real quick. So in this session is pretty much you guys are working on your CPT, right? Your musculoskeletal system in the CPT, which is a 20,000 series. That's what you guys are working on. The main thing in AAPC is to get used to the books. Get used to the books. Once you succumb to how those books are organized, you will be able to find your codes much faster. Okay. And remember, when you study, you have to have your pen, you have to have your notebook, your index cards, and your little square kit. I don't know where mine is, but it's something like this. I know it doesn't let me show paper or anything like that, but I can show all this other stuff. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it. I'm not sure, my phone is dying. I don't know where the iPad is. So I want you guys to make sure that when you are studying, even for this, I mean, you guys are not in a classroom yet, in a class taking your test yet, but like I said, the hardest thing that you are going to do is to study for your exam. That's the hardest thing that you're going to do. Okay, when you take your exam, you are going to be relieved. Trust me, you're going to be relieved. And I don't want to hear nobody talk about, am I too old to take this or am I too old to take that? If I hear one person say that to me again, no. Okay. I don't have to tell y'all how old I am. Y'all know how old I am. And trust me, I just finished another Georgia State license exam. Okay. Surprised myself, finished it in half the time. I want you to think the same way. Okay. So as y'all sending me emails, uh, Miss Lisa, can I do it, Miss Lisa? Of course you can do it. And I don't care how old you are. Your memory is there. You can't remember. Let's use index cards, okay? So I don't want to hear no negative about the CPC, okay? And there are like my book all wrinkled up. There are other tests that you can take besides the CPT, okay? I just need to put my book right here, so because we're going to relate to this. And you know how you put your book down and you bend some of the corners? Oh my God. I'd like to have a pet peeve in that. And then my corner kind of bent. Okay. So let's just talk about the class for a few minutes. For some of you all who have not been in my class, some of you all who have not seen me before, I am Miss Lambert. I am the owner of this academy. Okay. Um, your classes on YouTube. I'm not reading anything. I'll take my glasses off. Your classes that are on YouTube, okay? These are all beginner classes, especially for people who are not familiar with medical billing, people who are not familiar with coding or even medical terminology. There are three classes on my YouTube. It's medical billing, medical terminology, and also the coding class. And we start as beginners because there are some who have not done this before. And it looks challenging. Once you have all of your material, it is not as challenging as you think. When you look at something that you have never seen before, yes, it surprises you. Wow, what is this? What is that? Remember, when you go to school, they teach you to write, right? They teach you to read. Okay, in coding, we teach you how to code. The books are your go to. You don't need 3 hours a day. 2 hours a day is good for you to get a study in. The purpose of Miss Lambert's program is not only to show those who are not familiar with medical billing, but to get you started in a medical billing and coding field. When you feel like you want to go further, that's when you start thinking about certification. There are other certifications out there. There's NHA, okay? There is NRCC. That one, somebody just told me about that one in Texas, and we're going to take a look at that one. They're a lot cheaper and they're a lot less known than the CPC and the, CCSP, but they are still exams and they are much cheaper than the ones that we studied for. I mean, some people just want to be certified. They don't care what certification they take. I mean, being certified, it will get you into the door. I don't care which one you take, you're still going to get in the door. Okay. So don't take heed to which one you're going to take. Yeah, the NHA is also in there in the Sapphire Academy. The NRCC is new to me. I just saw that one the other day. I did call them, so that's why I put that on there. So we're going to have a meeting tomorrow morning. We're going to see if we can kind of connect and maybe get you guys with that. Now they have their certification is for coding specialists. Okay, that's a little bit different, but you could do the coding specialist. Okay, and that would give you leeway to do the CCA or the CCSP. That's a HEMA. Okay. Now you guys know with AAPC, you just need to pass that test. Okay. Now HEMA is a little bit different. You're gonna have to take a couple of more steps if you want to do a HEMA. Okay. But that CCA would get you to that HEMA test. Okay. That NRCC test would get you to that HEMA exam, and that NHA will also get you to that exam. Okay. Oh my gosh. My favorite one, you guys know I left it open. So, just, kind of creep up to it. And, I have students that, take, the lesser or the cheaper, exams, the same certifications type of thing that still gives you, the clout that you need to get in the door. It can be like a stepping stone until you get to the big kahuna. Now, that's why I said when you study, what we do, just like as if I was a class, I would be just like this, just as if I was in a classroom. We're doing the theory here. We're talking and we're doing the theory here, and we're showing you things. StreamYard, I can't go in and show you my board. I have to go to OBS. I can show you a couple of things on my board. It's all about how you're going to retain what you're doing, right? When you're taking a regular test and you're just doing multiple choice, you're pretty much reading and you're answering a question. In coding, it's a little bit different. You have to be able to figure out what code is going to decipher that case. So in this type of testing, the more reading you do in your CPT book, your ICD-10, and your HCPCS book, the more that you will be clear on what you are looking at. When you go, I know I'm pointing, but I don't have it up. But in the next session, we're going to have it up. In your step-by-step book, okay, it gives you guidance on how you're going to perform the coding. And you guys know we started Musculoskeletal System, all of my classes, y'all know how I do it. All books are complicit. I have all of them in front of me right now. We're going to go through all of them. When you're reading your paragraphs or XYZ, make sure you have a pen and a paper, because as soon as you see something that's not clear to you, search engine right now. So, it's not always all about, you're sitting in the classroom and the teacher's right there on the whiteboard. To me, if you are online, then you have access right then and there. You're going to type in what you need to type in. So when you have your CPT book, your step-by-step, your ICD-10, right? Your HCPCS, everything is around you because you're going to relate to every single book as you're teaching. The more you read your step-by-step, which is going to give you that guidance, you have to use your CPT book and complicit. And you guys know I have the ebooks. I pulled out the hard copy because I want to make sure you guys do those illustrations. Okay. The illustrations are what we see as far as feet, hands, and different things like that. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. And y'all know I'll show y'all that in a step-by-step book. But in order for you to get a chapter, for you to get a session, you have to go over it until you feel comfortable. And that's constantly testing yourself. That test sheet that I have in there, you guys can print that. Use it. I put it in there as a link for OBS. Okay. If I send you something through YouTube, okay, and I know I'm figuring out how to broaden YouTube, but if I have something that I want to send you, and I will turn it into a link from Google Drive. So not here. I'll put it on OBS. We're gonna have class in OBS at 8:30. So when I make it into a link, anybody can open it. Okay. Once I lock it, it's done. You cannot look at it. So let's say I send you a link right now. Remember the hem test I sent you guys? You guys should be having fun with that. It's still open. I'm going to lock it on Friday. So if you guys have not uploaded that hem test, go ahead and do it if you want to mess around. And this is for those of you who are advanced, who are already coded. Okay. So, I do put things up there for you guys to kind of mess around with. So again, as you are learning the medical billing, the coding, the medical terminology, you all need everything to help you get started. And when I say you all need everything, you remember I told you how to make that desk? Go to Home Depot, get that little desk, what do you call it? A platform of wood, and get them 2x4s and make your desk. Because you have to have a study area. If you're sitting in the chair and you just have the one book, that's fine. But when you're studying for the coding, you need to have all your books in front of you. Okay. And don't forget, YouTube, I gave you guys that the ebook for medical billing and coding Q&A. Okay, and that's for those of you again who've never done it before. That's a courtesy book to you. Now, somebody asked me something about Sapphire. Sapphire Academy and the YouTube is different. It's totally different. The Sapphire Academy has EHR. That's where I'm showing you what it looks like when you actually go to work. Sapphire Academy, you have to do essays. Sapphire Academy, you have 18 subjects that are already in there. There is no download. You can look at that as much as you want, or you can download if you want to. In the YouTube, you get the same type of classes. You just don't get the material. You don't get the rest of the program. You might get about 35%. And the Sapphire Academy, when you guys go to my website, sapphirephysiciancoding.com, that's where you see everything that you pretty much need. Because what we do on YouTube is just a tipping of the iceberg. Okay. You guys still have to do tests. You guys still have to do quiz. You have to do competencies. We have to be assured that when you sit down and take that CPC, you're not going to come back and tell me you got a 60. Okay. I'm all right if you get a 69 and you just didn't make it at that point. But the goal is to get a 70, okay? And remember, in the CPC, it's just like any other state exam, okay? You have to get a certain amount in each module. So if you get an 80 in module A and a 60 in module D, it doesn't mean you're going to fail. They got to average it out. Okay, so some people are strong in cardiology, some people are strong in musculoskeletal system. Okay, so don't get scared of it. Don't get scared of it. I see so many things going on right now, and for people to have a I won't say backbone. What do I want to say? A backup, or a business backup. If you know something, you have to use it. You have to use it. Y'all know me. Everything that was given to me. Y'all know I give it back to y'all. It took me 10 years to create this program. Trust me, 10 years. I'm 94% to where I want it to be. So, I'm saying that because when you get to a point where you want to venture out, or you just want to do something on the side, or you just want to create your own thing, it takes time for you to do that, and it takes planning. Just like the coding. Okay. The end goal on the coding is to pass the test. That's the hardest thing you're going to do. Okay. Once you pass that test, relief. Go get ice cream. I shouldn't say that. Y'all know I'm on a diet. Relief something. Okay. When you start getting used to it, you will know. Just like the CPT book. Okay. And I'm just looking at the book. I'm not going to put it up here. In our next session, we're going to put it up. I'm on page 123. So you know how we code. We code from head to toe, right? Yeah. So in here, where you see these illustrations, I know you can't see them, but in your illustrations, before you even start, and this is for people who have not started with us yet, you're going to go through each page of your CPT book, okay? And you're going to get familiar with what's in here. So if I'm on 20605, y'all go to 20605, okay? Arthrocentesis, aspiration and or injection, intermediate joint, or bursa. You're not going to remember that, but you will be familiar with it when you see it. So when you start coding, it won't take you so long to get to this code. So when you're in the back of the book, remember, we go to the back of the book, right? And we look at, we find our code, whatever we need, okay? And what's the back of the book called? Index, y'all, right? So we go to the back of the book and we find what we are looking for, okay? I'm only going to say atrial electrocardiogram because I'm already right here. Whatever the code is you land on, that's what you're going to go to, okay? And you're going to be in the area of the code you more than likely are looking for. The code that you find in the index may not be the code that you want. Or if you go to your index and you see a code, let's go to atrial fibrillation, and it's not what you want, it's going to tell you where to go. See fibrillation, atrial. Because remember what I said, if you find something, if you don't find your code as is, code it in reverse. So just like right here, you go look for atrial fibrillation, right? You can't find it. Flip it. You're going to code it in reverse. And it's actually telling you that in here. So instead of looking for atrial fibrillation, look for fibrillation atrial. And then it's going to put you in the area that you want to be in. Once you get to that coding area and you go, well, that's not the one I want. Oh, that's the one I want. I want this one up here. That's what the procedure was. You see what I'm saying? It's going to put you in that area as far as what procedure you are looking for. Okay. Now, as far as how you're going to do that, you're going to go to your index after you read the report. Look for the procedure. Okay. The diagnosis is always going to be on the top anyway. Okay. Look for your procedure, and then you go to that series and find it. Okay. You may not get to the code that you want to. You have to look for it. So this may not be the code you want. If you go to closure 33615, 33647, it may not be the one you want. But in between that, you might find the code that you want. Okay. So, again, it takes practice. What I would do, we're in musculoskeletal system. I would go to musculoskeletal system, jot down some of those medical terminologies, and start looking for codes. Okay. Just randomly start looking for codes. Okay. Because you should have already done this step by step. Okay. Your step by step book has exercises in there for you to do to get you used to looking for codes. Okay. So remember how we work. We do step by step, CPT, then the CPC guide, right? That's how we work, right? Step by step, CPC, CPT guide. And we don't do a whole lot of unnecessary stuff. Okay. We do what needs to get you certified. Okay. In the Sapphire Academy, if you have never worked in an EHR before, there is an EHR segment in there. Open it up. Okay. Open it up. Will I do that segment on YouTube? I don't know yet. I'm working on that. I'm trying to see how I can incorporate that here where you guys can just get the classes from here, and then all the rest of your tools you will get from the Sapphire Academy. Okay. And don't forget, if you want to do Sapphire Academy, I got a $1,250 grant. Okay. So the Academy would only be $99. So what we are trying to do is incorporate the classes fully here. No, we haven't started the chat, but I'm working on that. And in that case, your class would be from 9 to 2. 9 to 2. Your class on YouTube will be 9 to 2 once that actually gets incorporated. If I am on stout from 9 to 3, then your classes will be steady evening for the 4 hours. Okay. It would be 4 hours, 3 days a week. Okay. Now, y'all know your class is Monday, Friday, and Saturday. Even if I'm not here, even if I'm not doing a live class, you guys are still having class. Okay. You still should be studying. Okay. So, this is your musculoskeletal system class. Your class is, what is it? 6110. What did I put? 6101. Here, we'll fix that. And what I want you to do is go through your step-by-step book, which we're going to pull up in about 5 minutes because I'm going to switch over. So you're going to go through your step-by-step book and your step-by-step book on, I think it's chapter 15, okay? Those codes that you should have done in there, those cases, you should be actually finished with those, okay? But I still want you to look at those illustrations, especially these. Okay, this looks like something that's going to be on the test. Okay, I know I'm in the other screen, so you guys can't see it, but that looks like something that's going to be on your test. So I want you to make sure that you look at all those illustrations. I'm just going to go in here and pull this up real quick. You guys can't see this one. Where is it? You'll be able to see it on the other screen. So a musculoskeletal system in your step-by-step book. Your step-by-step book is by Bucks, okay, 2026 edition. No, you don't have to have the new edition, okay? And this is for some of you who have not done billing before, some of you who have not done billing and coding before, okay? You can get this book from thrift.com, or there are free links below for the book, okay? This book goes up to musculoskeletal system and CPT. Okay. This one, let me see. Yeah, you get like 35% of this one too, but you can still use this book until you get your books. Okay. So we talking about the formats, fractures and disclosures. Okay. Applications and cash strapping. And it's just like you're reading a regular book. Okay. It's just like you're reading a book. But what you're going to do with this book, make notes. I want you to make sure you make notes when you're reading this, okay? Because there's a lot of things that's in here that will be on your test. Will be on your test. Arthroscopy is often the treatment of choice for many orthopedic surgical procedures. Okay, make sure you guys read that. You guys can't see this book. I'm going to pull it up when we go to OBS, all right? I'm just kind of scrolling through because there were some coding for you. There is right here. So on 424, and some of you might have your book, okay? Some of you might have your book, some of you don't. But go ahead and get the link so you can have your book, just so you can kind of get a taste, get a feel of step-by-step. See if, billing and coding is for you. Okay, so I'm on 424. So you have coding in there to start messing around in this book, okay? If you don't have, if you think that it's not the right answer, go look in the back of the book and check it. I mean, we're all adults. I mean, you're not going to go find the answer. If you cheat yourself and go find the answer, you're not going to learn. Okay. So surgical arthroscopy of ankle, which included extensive debridement. Okay. You are looking for that CPT code. Okay. Go to the back in your index book and start looking for surgical arthroscopy, or start with arthroscopy. Okay. Then you're going to hit ankle. Okay. Then you hit extensive debridement. Okay. Just keep looking until you find the description that you want. Okay. Once you find the description that you want and it gives you a code, go to that section And in that area, you will find what you are looking for if it doesn't give you exactly what you're looking for. Okay. Diagnostic knee arthroscopy with a synovial biopsy. Okay. CPT code. So if you see something that just says one CPT code, it's only one. It's going to continue to indent and it's going to be one. Okay. I'm going to pull up my ebook in OBS so you guys can see it. I know I got like 1 minute for OBS, but I just wanted to pull it up from right here. But I think I've already got this up in OBS. So you guys will be able to look at it when I go to OBS. Okay. But again, if you don't see your straight code, flip it and then try to find it in reverse. Right. So when you go to your index, that's when you're going to look for the reversal. So if you can't find it as a straight code, what I just showed you, flip it and then look for it that way. Okay. It will take you to the area that you need to be. Okay. And don't get frustrated. Coding is not something that you're going to get frustrated with. It just be patient with the coding. The coding that's in the step-by-step book, complete the coding that's in that book. The CPT book, the step-by-step book, your ICD-10 book, right? Your HCPCS book. They're all in that description below. Make sure you guys don't forget to give me a thumbs up on this video, okay? And make sure you subscribe to my channel, okay? The other one is supposed to start now, so I'm gonna pop that one now. The OBS, I can kind of show you what I'm looking at a little bit better in here. I still can pull up documents in here, but I like the presentation in this one a little bit better. I do have a PowerPoint in here, but we're not going to go over that now. We might do it a little bit later. But it's really just to identify how I want you to start looking for those codes. Okay. So some of you who have missed the beginner classes to get you here to the advanced classes, because some of the stuff I'm saying, some of you all that are beginners that just popped in, you may not be able to decipher that. All you need to do is archive the chats. That's all you got to do. Archive the chats and you will be right here where we are. So the class that we are doing next, this one is actually 41 and the other one is 42. I'm going to fix that. Don't worry about that, okay? But in the OBS, I'm going to go ahead and pull up, I'm going to pull that book up. So make sure that you've already downloaded. It's not like a download that you never did before. The download comes from Kindle. If you decide to purchase the book, you can purchase the book from Kindle. Okay. I like both. I like the ebooks and I do the other books. These have more of a description in them where I can pretty much show them to you. On this one, we're going to go ahead and do it like that. And I'll try to put it in there and show it to you like that. I probably have to fix it though. But I want you guys to just make sure that you do your practicing. This is for the people who are in this advanced class right now. Once we finish with medical terminology, we've done medical billing. This is the coding. The coding is in those stages, okay? Medical terminology also has the fields of medicine in there. Look at that fields of medicine, okay? The fields of medicine is the fields of the body, okay? The fields of the body, okay? How many bones, metatarsals, all that kind of stuff, okay? So just make sure you look at that. No, we go over that in Sapphire Academy. Those of you who want to join Sapphire Academy, head on over to my website and go ahead and join Sapphire Academy. You'll get a welcome note. Okay. You got 1 week to do orientation. Then after your 1 week, you will get a Sapphire email so that you can enter the academy. Then you get a one-on-one or you get a discussion board. A lot of y'all seem to be used to texting me through the website. That's fine. I'll text you back. If you ask them something and they're not sure, they're going to send it to me anyway. Okay, so it's not an AI thing that you're talking to. It's a live person. Corinne will answer. Okay, so if she's got to ask me something, she'll just push it to me. Okay, so we're going to end this. I'm going to head over to OBS so I can do visual. So right here, we're not doing visual. But if you guys want to see anything else, just let me know. But I need you guys to make sure you are doing the coding. This is those of you who are already in the advanced part of this class. Your coding is a musculoskeletal system, and you are already deep into it, okay? Remember that you are going to code in reverse when you cannot find your code. If you explicitly can't find your code, what are you going to do? Right, you're going to get the code that says unidentified, unlisted, can't find. Okay. And what are you going to give with that if you use an unlisted code? Notes, Miss Lambert. No, don't call me. Well, I'll tell you about calling me Miss Lisa. Okay. Miss Lambert. Okay, so let's get out of here. Let me get the notes ready. Even though here is good, but we're going to jump over to OBS. I'm going to see y'all in about 2 minutes because that should be popping up on your end in YouTube right now. Okay, so I'll be back. Don't go nowhere.